Hey guys, welcome back to the video, and today I'm going to be talking about Peloton Interactive stock, and I just want to give a few ways to know where this stock might actually run up to, and if you are in a position right now, when should you cut your position, when should you take your profits, and how might you know when the stock is potentially looking to pull back. Now, this stock has just had an incredibly crazy run. You can see that they're a very new company, only actually starting trading around September the 20th. So that's one of the things that's most surprising for me, the way that this company has come onto the market and just been able to blast through expectations as far as what they've been able to do as a company and as far as what this stock has been able to do and what kind of prices we've been able to see over the last few weeks. So if you've been following the stock, you know that a lot of people were wondering whether they could run up past $70, $60. And that's when I actually made my last video on this company. And since then, they've run up around 90%. So since then, they've had a lot of room to run. And the company has almost doubled in price since the time that I last talked about them, even though they were already up from around $30 to $40 when the company IPO'd. So it's a very good sign that the company is growing in the short term, but how can we know that in the long term they will be able to hold up this price? And for that, I want to share a few things about the company that actually turned me very bullish on my sentiment for them. And the first thing is that the company listens to the consumer. Now, one of the main examples of this is when they lowered their subscription price. I don't know how much it is now, but I heard they lowered it by about half. And what that means is that it's going to allow a lot more people who maybe already purchased their bike product to continue using the subscription service. And that's the second part about what I like from their company. Now, they're not only just selling a bike, they're not just selling some workout equipment for you to use at home. And if you've ever had a piece of workout equipment at home, you probably know that the person who bought it uses it for just a week and then decides to basically throw it away, don't use it again, or just leave it there collecting dust. And I feel like that's where Peloton is different in this industry, where they also include a subscription service where you can literally make your bike feel like you're just in a regular spin class. And that's going to open up a lot of doors for their company to continue pushing in on the spin class industry, on these personal workout industries, and kind of cater to people who might want to work out, but potentially want to work out from home in their spare time, or want to take advantage of this lockdown we're seeing right now with the pandemic to continue working on their gym fitness. So it's going to be very critical to see whether or not Peloton is able to really capitalize on this market of people who are feeling like they have nowhere to work out and are potentially looking for not only some workout equipment, but also a suite of products where you have to buy Peloton shoes, Peloton bike, Peloton, etc., the gear to be able to operate this bike, and you're also paying a long-term subscription to see their live videos and their live workout feeds. So that's the part for me that's really going to push this company from just selling a product to a long-term vision of an environment of products. And if you've heard my company analysis on Apple or Tesla, you know that the reason why I'm so bullish on those companies in the long run is actually because they create a suite of environment, a suite of products around their brand. And not only do they have a phone or a computer or something like that, they have a whole connected suite of environments where Apple has its specific charger and its specific AirPods, and you're not really going to want to break that Apple lifestyle if you've already joined in. The same way with Tesla, how they have the Tesla charger for your garage that you can put up on your wall. They have the mini capacitors, they have the cars, etc. And it's really just a brand and a lifestyle. And I feel like that's what Peloton can really benefit from if they're able to capitalize on this effect within the next few weeks. Now, like I said, I'm also going to show you how to realize when this stock might have reached the end of its run and when it's looking to pull back a little. Now, since around October, the ends of September, we actually saw them break out here, and they've had a massive run since then, looking at over $40 of profits here. So one of the main things for a lot of traders is when might the stock stop running and how is the best way to know? And for those two things, I want to mention the 50 EMA And I also want to mention the MACD. So the 50 EMA is this line right here, the second blue line you see on the chart. And essentially what it shows is just a moving average. But what it really indicates is whether or not a stock is in an upwards or downwards direction. Now, if you've ever followed a stock that's up 100%, 200%, whatever it is, you know that there's going to be periods of time when they trade sideways like we saw here on Peloton. Now, since this run, we've had a lot more price movement to the upside, but I feel like we might have another consolidation period, maybe not this week, maybe not next week, but when we do have a consolidation period like this, watch for the 50 EMA to be tested on some of these lower time frames. So if I go to the 4-hour, you can see that the 50 EMA has been consistently holding up. Even when we had this sideways trading, they were bouncing off the 50 EMA very heavily, and that was going to be one of your best indications that this stock wanted to continue in an upwards direction. So that's why I really like the 50 EMA indicator. I feel like it's a super strong indication that a stock is in an upwards direction. Now, the second thing that I'm going to be looking at is the MACD. Now, this is a momentum indicator, and what it really shows is whether a stock has upwards or downwards momentum. And you can see that anytime the indicator is below zero and then heading upwards, it's a really good time to buy. So the last time it was below zero and heading upwards was down here. And you can see that this is where basically their run started to the upside. So what I'm looking for now is a moment when the MACD might be extremely above zero. So right now it is above zero, but you can see that the blue indicator line is above the other line, and what that means is that this stock is in an upwards direction. So once these lines cross again, it's going to be a good sign that maybe we're reaching a period of consolidation, a time when the stock is maybe looking more to trade sideways than in the upwards direction. Now, another thing is there is a specific reason why I'm showing you this daily chart and this weekly chart. And that's going to be that when stocks actually run this crazy amount, when they run over 100% and for multiple weeks, it's going to be very easy to identify on the chart when they're having a pullback. So you can see right here, they actually had a pullback this 1 week, and it represented a great buying opportunity. So what you're going to want to see on the chart is whether or not we have a pullback, how big the pullback is, and whether or not we are able to climb back up out and potentially over the last week's price. So you can see that's what we did here. We had a consistent price to look at, and the same candle that broke out this week all the way up to 75, it was followed by multiple weeks of growth. So that's what I really want to watch for when I'm looking at a company that's already up 100%, etc. Whether or not they have a week where maybe the market is maybe a little unsure, they're having some consolidation and trying to pull back. And that way, if I see them climb out of this hole, I know that the stock has more room to run. So that's going to be one of the biggest indications for me. Also, when you see these indecision candles, when you see the green candles be so much more substantially full than the red candles, you know that there's still tons of bulls stepping in to buy on this stock. And that's one of the best indications for me that this stock is continuing in an upwards direction. The amount of green volume is just astounding. There's still tons of people buying this stock on a daily basis. And that's going to be one of the most important things to continue pushing a stock price upwards. You can't just continue pushing something upwards without that momentum behind it, without that strength. And that's what I feel like Peloton has a lot of still. I think they can run to around 150 or maybe even 180 if this momentum does continue. The way that they are looking, it looks like they don't want to stop until just under $200. So that's why I'm keeping a very close eye out on this stock, and I'm looking for another trade where potentially they have an indecision day like how we had yesterday, and then look to break up above one of these last day candles. So that's why I try to set my support here at the bottom of these day candles. Maybe they pull back one day. If the candle looks like it's kind of an indecision candle, then it's probably going to represent a great opportunity to buy, especially if the weekly chart is still showing very green and bullish. Then you know that this stock is going to be increasing for that week. So that's going to be my greatest indications that the stock is still in an upwards direction. Like I said, the volume has to continue high. The 50 EMA has to continue being a support, how it has been for the last few weeks actually. And the MACD has to continue showing an upwards direction. So it's always going to be better to buy a stock at a discount. But even if you bought the stock right now, $135 flat, I think you would be seeing a great return in the long run, especially in the short run with the way the stock is increasing on a daily basis. So yeah, guys, I really like Peloton. I think their company's financials, what they're doing in the industry is extremely disruptive and important. And I think they're going to be a company that lasts past the pandemic and these lockdowns. And a lot of people are maybe saying, oh, well, people won't use their bikes long term. And that's why I really think the subscription model they have is going to allow their company to continue producing profits, continue producing good returns for investors, and continue increasing their stock price into the future. So as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out link in the description for the Discord. We actually had a great play over there today, 25% on JD. And I didn't put this play up, but I made 30% return on PayPal as well. That was in the morning watch list, but I didn't want to swing it with you guys unless I was 100% sure. But that was a great play as well. So if you want to see all those plays and don't miss out on anything with the free signals and free watch list, just check the Discord link down in the description below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed.